Sue, that's right. If the government doesn't have the cash to meet its obligations, it could have a trickle-down effect on our area, starting with delayed paychecks. The debt ceiling is the cap on how much money the U.S. can borrow to pay its bills. Financial advisor Evan Krause says if Congress doesn't make a decision by a June deadline, we could see a partial government shutdown. Military and federal employees can miss paychecks during this time. Krause says based on the past, a shutdown could last between 3 to 35 days. The good news, there are some benefits that are typically safe.
What type of benefits are typically safe during a government shutdown? And those would be things like military retirement pay. So people who are fully retirement on that pension, that typically continues during these time periods. Things like VA, veterans disability compensation, VA health care, especially essential services, typically continue throughout that time period.
Krause says Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid also usually continue during this time. With the threat of a loss of paychecks looming, Krause advises military and federal employees to protect themselves.
Any extra pay or cash flow you have, save that just in case there is a period of time for 2 weeks, a month. That's typically on the longer end that we've seen that you might have to go without pay. So increasing your cash reserves, your emergency fund could help weather that.
Edward Rouse is a former Marine Corps officer who is now a certified public accountant. He says this wouldn't be an ideal situation. Rouse tells me it's important to reduce debt as much as possible.
Liquidate debt as soon as possible. It is the number one factor in financial stability. The number one factor. Liquidate debt. Be judicious about debt. Do not use debt for consumption.
Experts say Congress would meet to talk about the debt ceiling on May 9th. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says the deadline for Congress to take action is June 1st. Live in the studio, Sade Ray, WEAR News.